Hello and welcome back to another episode of the News You Missed, the vegan news show that recaps all the happenings in video game news for the week. Today I have some Sony news that's pretty cool. I have a little bit of Xbox news that's really important that will impact the future of Xbox users, and I have some major Nintendo news featuring Metroid Dread. So if that all sounds good, let's jump right into it. Right, so my first story is that Gordon Ramsay from Hell's Kitchen and Kitchen Nightmares, you know Gordon Ramsay, where's the lamb sauce? He reveals in a recent interview with Wired that his favorite Pokemon character is Hop from Sword and Shield. Quote, he's incredibly underrated, the chef confessed. Out of all the characters, you have to take into context that maybe he's not the most massive Pokemon player. I don't know, I have no clue why Hop would be his favorite character. He gets a legendary Pokemon, that's cool. If you choose Pokemon Sword, he gets the dog with the shield on his chest, so that's cool. That's a strange bit of news for you. We're gonna continue on. The Pokemon Company has commented on how Pokemon Legends Arceus' structure will not be open world, and you'll be able to go into these open world environments just like in Pokemon Sword and Shield, but there will still be a linear structure. There'll still be a linear fashion. I suppose what they're trying to allude to is that it's not going to be like Breath of the Wild, even though almost everything about it looks just like Breath of the Wild. So a lot of people on the internet have concluded themselves that this is just going to be Breath of the Wild Pokemon, where in Breath of the Wild you can just basically go anywhere within the boundaries of the game. You don't really need anything. If you can get there, you can get there, right? People do crazy stuff in Breath of the Wild, so you can basically go anywhere in it, right? It's not going to be that way in Pokemon Arceus Legends, and that's okay to me. To be honest, I prefer a lot of structure. How do you feel? You let me know in the comments down below. Xbox had tweeted out a really nice looking controller, and it looked almost like Pikachu, and I said, well, what about Pikachu, right? And they replied with an Xbox Pikachu controller, the official Xbox of Twitter. So that's pretty cool. I thought I'd show it to you if you guys were interested in an Xbox controller that also looked like Pikachu. We have Kirby, the Forgotten Land box art, which reminds everyone who's interested in that you can now pre-order that game as well. So if you're interested in that, make sure to hit those pre-orders up. Also, it's been confirmed that all the N64 games expansion pack will be playable in 60 Hz, and you can play them all in English language versions. So Metroid Dread is the highest grossing Metroid game at launch in UK history, and also the best selling Metroid game at launch so far, and I'm sure it may climb the ranks to become one of, if not the best selling Metroid game, which is massively important because the reason that Metroid has not had a lot of development is due to the fact that it doesn't sell as well as Zelda. For example, there's 16 Zeldas that have sold better than any Metroid game in history, which is really insane. A lot of people like Zelda, but then again, also if you compare Zelda to Mario outsells Zelda a lot. So by that logic, it doesn't make sense. Miyamoto really likes Zelda. It's Miyamoto's baby. And Metroid was created by Gunpei Yokoi, who died. He was also the creator of the Game Boy and Virtual Boy, ironically, but he died in a car crash. And when the creator's gone, you don't have that person pushing it to become a great series. Metroid could have easily have fallen off had Metroid Prime not come out and reinvigorated life into the series. I'm very happy that it did. I have recently been playing Metroid Dread, and I really don't like it because I'm an old man and I don't have great reflexes anymore. I don't have the dexterity that I once had to play games with quick reflexes, and it shows. That game requires a lot of memorization of the buttons, the moves, quick reflexes, and things like that. So yeah, good game, just really difficult for me. Speaking of Metroid Dread, it's already running great on Switch emulators. There's really not much else to talk about here. Metroid Dread is probably not one of the more resource-heavy games, as it's more of a 2D hybrid. There's times where you get a first-person viewpoint, but it's very rare. And the thing is, it's just 2D, man, and it runs really, really well. It's running great on emulator. My best advice for people who have a problem with this is that almost every PC game that comes out is instantly cracked day one. People are going to pirate games, and console games are no different. I know a lot of people are salty and they want to see Metroid rise to greatness. I included, as Metroid is one of my favorite series of all time. If not, it surpasses Mario for me, honestly. But the problem is that this isn't going to stop just because you like Metroid, and you're not going to convince other people just by uniting with other people who really enjoy Metroid to say piracy is bad, you shouldn't do it. Those out there who can't afford a Switch, can't get access to a Switch around the world, they're not just in the United States with the choice to buy one. They may not have the money. They may not even have access to it. They may not be able to have it shipped to their home. This might be their only option. On top of that, those who want to emulate should be able to emulate the game. If you buy the game and you have it on Switch, you should be able to alter it and do whatever you want to it. I know that's not the world we really live in. I believe that you should be able to tweak and mess with whatever you purchase and you own. It's crazy to think that if you buy a game, you're not allowed to do that because you're technically leasing it, right? No, you're not. That's your game. You bought it. It's yours. So that's how I feel. Pirates, please buy the game if you have access to it and you can get it, just to support the developers. So Microsoft is considering allowing Xbox owners to repair their own consoles. There's not much to this, but the right to repair is an act that is being pushed and continuously contested by companies like Apple, who really don't want you repairing your own cell phones, because man, that $17 repair can be done very easily at home if you know what you're doing, and they wouldn't be able to charge you $350 at a Genius bar. So this is massively important for that. It would be cool just to be able to repair your own game console. Also in Xbox news, we have Xbox One X series that are being given away, themed after the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. That is the Super Smash Bros. Knockoff version, which is for Nickelodeon. Fun game, a little less polished than Super Smash Bros., but nonetheless, these Xbox One X's look slick, sleek, and awesome. Would you like to enter the contest? You could win one of these. Take the link in the description below. SIE boss Jim Ryan said he's frustrated that PlayStation games can't reach more people. That's unfortunate, but you have to understand that when you're working for a company like Sony, who feels like they're on top of the world, they don't have to reach out and work with anyone else. If you've noticed, Nintendo and Microsoft have an excellent working relationship. They work together a lot, even though they are competitors ultimately. But Sony is nowhere to be seen. Now, if a company truly feels like they should get their brand out there for other people to see, then they would do that. But Sony feels like they don't need to reach out and work with anyone else. Imagine if Sony worked with Nintendo and put several of their characters in Super Smash Bros. Wouldn't that drive people to want to play their games who have never had access to them? Wouldn't that get people to want to go buy the PlayStation and PlayStation versions of those characters to understand why they're so iconic and considered for Super Smash Bros.? But no, Sony doesn't want to do that because Sony is leading the sales right now with their PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5s. But there you have it. So the Squid Game creator reveals that the circle, square, and triangles that are featured in Squid Game actually come from the PlayStation. When asked why he didn't use X, he said X is a symbol that has been found on many different controllers, citing Nintendo, PC, Xbox, things like that, and he only likes PlayStation. I'm not really sure why this is an article, but it is. I always kind of wondered when I watched Squid Game why the masks were circle, square, and triangle. I thought it was correlated with PlayStation, but I wasn't sure. But now I can verify that it is, and so can you if you were thinking that. GTA's definitive edition of the PlayStation 2 remasters could cost $70 according to a retailer. Do I think this is? Yes. I think this is going to happen, and I think it's going to be for the PlayStation 5 $70. It will not be $70 on Steam, I can promise you that, because ain't nobody going to buy that shit. Especially PC versions, you can just change the settings yourself. You don't need the remasters, you don't need any upscaling, you don't need any fixes, and you get the same results. So yeah, if you're a PlayStation 5 user, you're probably going to pay $70 for over decade old games. So an anonymous hacker was reportedly leaking the entirety of Twitch, including the source code, creator payouts, and many other things. One of those things is potential that there's going to be a Steam competitor called Vapor. In the article, nothing is confirmed, so this is just hearsay and speculation and possibility, but apparently there might be an app coming out which is going to be used in conjunction with PC called Vapor, which is like a play off of Steam. Get it? Steam, Vapor, ha, ha, laugh. It's hilarious. Anyways, point is, this is a thing that could happen, but there's nothing confirming it yet. The final thing I wanted to say about that leak, though, is that Twitch has a do not ban list, and believe it or not, Rice Scum is at the top. Rice Scum. You know, the guy who used to make diss tracks on here. I'm sorry, he didn't really make his own diss tracks. He had other people try to write his own material. I remember seeing Rice Scum appear on like some MTV show, and it was like improv rapping and diss tracking, and he got destroyed. Completely destroyed. All the other people were like, why are you even here? Like, it was ridiculous. I don't like Rice Scum. I'm not a fan of Rice Scum, but it's not just Rice Scum. There are plenty of other people on this ban list, and yeah, guess what? They're not allowed to be banned because they make lots of money. So welcome to being a content creator. Corruption reigns supreme. When people ask me why I don't put more effort into my videos, why I don't put more effort into streaming, this is my answer. Unless you make the big bucks, unless you're a top content creator, they do not care about you. Do you think I'm on a do not ban list? Do you? Do you really? That's cute. Do you think anyone below 1 million subscribers, viewers, is on any do not ban list? You're cute. You're funny. Sorry guys, this is the way of the world, and that is your news for the week. I hope it didn't bring you down. The final news story. A little bit of corruption is always important to know about. Other than that, tell me what article spoke to you, and I will see you next week again. As always, good gaming, God bless, and thanks for watching.